Well, I see you've challenged me, and in this episode, I will accept your challenge and do what needs to be done. Right. Right. Well, hello there, Apple Bites. This is your Apple Bite, Rafael Tavares, talking to you straight from our show here, The Written Writ. A show where you and I and you, take a journey together to become better writers. Previously, I asked you to challenge me, and that's what you did. You challenged me with many words and phrases and things so that I can write. So I was able to do my favorite type of writer's prompt, which is the challenge. When you throw things at me and I try to write what I'm supposed to write. So, let's get started with the first challenge given to us by Natalie. Yes, Natalie gave us the challenge of a ninja walking backwards. Now, what I thought automatically with a ninja walking backwards is not what you think I thought. Ah, see, I got you there. What I thought was about a poem. It just sounded poetic, a ninja walking backwards in the night, seeing forward but not behind. For behind is on the front and the front is in the back. Yeah, it's kind of corny there, but you get the idea. That's what I was thinking. A poem, poetry. It was really interesting, and I just couldn't figure out how to get the poem to work. So, as I sat there for a while and I tried to think back and forth, another idea came into my head of two characters telling a story, or one character telling a story and the other one listening. And them going back and forth, and then us trying to figure out what exactly is going on. I know, you're wondering, what is Ralph talking about? Well, let's find out. Alright, here we go. A ninja walking backwards. Check it. The story starts off with a ninja walking backwards. Why? Says Hector. Because he's a badass, that's why. Now shut up and let me keep telling you. Nat says as Hector quiets down and lets Nat continue. When he finally stops walking, he finds himself inside of a dragon's stomach. What? Okay. How the heck did he get inside a dragon's stomach? You didn't even mention a dragon before. Hector interrupts as Nat says, well, let me tell you the story and stop interrupting. So the ninja stops walking backwards, finding himself in a dragon's stomach. And before him, glowing green with power, is the fabled dragon's sword. But before he can get to it, the dragon turns into a man and grabs the sword. Wait, what? How can the dragon turn into a man and get into his own stomach and grab the sword? Hector interrupts yet again, agitating Nat, who says, are you going to let me finish the story, or are you going to keep interrupting the whole time? Hector now angry yells, you are the worst bard I have ever known. You were there to see the whole thing happen, and you still can't get the story right. Nat takes out his tongue and says, you're just angry because my story has more flair. Ugh! You're impossible. I have no idea why I'm bringing you along. Now, as you can see, I got some weird thing going there. Now, what's going on? Is this a D&D adventure? And you have these two characters playing characters fighting? Are these really a warrior and a bard who are off going on adventures, and the bard tends to be one of those guys who, when he tells a story, tends to exaggerate things? We all know those type of people. Well, anyway, that's what I did with this. And as you can see, I just let the creative juices flow, and I went with it to see what came from it. It's not a poem like I originally wanted to do, but it's something. It's something that just started percolating in my head, working itself. And you need to do that. You need to just write what's coming off in your head. These exercises, these writer's prompts, is getting you to writing. And that's why it's important to constantly have a pad, a pen, so that you can actually keep writing, because sometimes these ideas just pop out and they are incredible ideas, but they never come back the same way. So that if you don't have that paper at that moment, you are never going to get that same idea the same way that you thought about it the first time. That's why it's so important to have paper, especially when you're sleeping, because sometimes, boom, those ideas just pop up when you're sleeping, and if you don't have anything there next to the bed, and you tell yourself, well, yeah, I'll figure it out tomorrow when I wake up, and all of a sudden it's gone. You see what I'm saying? That's why it's so important to make sure that you have your writing utensils or your program that you write with right next to you, so you can get your ideas out there and get your creative juices flowing. Now, I have more. I know you're itching with anticipation. Pow! Now you see something different. Yeah, I know I'm having way too much fun. But anyway, one of the other pieces that I was challenged to do is brightness in the tunnel. And then I was giving the word porn and the word amnesia. Of course, I wrote down my trusty little paper here, all the ideas that you, or the challenges you have given me. And brightness in the tunnel was given to us by Fran Villarreal Doster. And of course, porn was given to us by our friend Carmelo Melatice. Hey, Melo. I put it in there. And of course, amnesia has been given to us by Jason Arthur Sapan, our 3D entrepreneur. Yes, and at first, I thought I was going to do 3 different stories. I considered doing something about a tunnel with brightness, and I had something written for porn, and I had something done for amnesia. But the more I sat there, the more the story about the brightness in the tunnel started to work itself, and it turned into something with our character having amnesia, not knowing why he was in the tunnel, and running across some porn while down there in this tunnel. You know, I know it sounds crazy, but that's how it popped into my head. I don't know why these 3 decided to come together, but they did. And it's always interesting how the creative process happens. So I took my story with brightness in the tunnel and I added the porn and amnesia words to it. Might as well, because the character has amnesia. Now, you're probably wondering, what the heck is Ralph talking about? Well, let's find out. Brightness in the tunnel. He had been walking for he knew not how long. In fact, he didn't even remember who he was. All he knew was that he had been following the brightness in the tunnel. Yet he never seemed to get closer. The amnesia itched his brain like an agitated allergy, and no matter how he scratched it, he did not find relief. He just knew that the answers he sought were at the end of this tunnel. If he could just get to the brightness, all would be clear. After walking for another extended period of time, he found himself in the light. It was an old room with antique furniture from what looked like a 50s detective movie. Littered across the floor were all sorts of porn. The pages were all over the room, as if someone had found a porn collection and had their way with it. On the other end of the room was a door with an opaque glass. Written on the glass was one word: detective. The light from beyond the door shone brightly. He slowly turned the doorknob and opened the door. He creaked as he pulled it open, and a voice from the other side said, "It took you long enough." Ooh, interesting. See, but that's what I came across when I started thinking brightness in the tunnel. I saw this guy walking through the tunnel. And then I started figuring, well, maybe he doesn't know why he's there. I said, okay, cool. And let's put it even more mysterious. He runs into this room and there's porn littered all over the place. Why is there porn on the floor? Why is it littered all over the place? Good questions. Maybe we'll get the answer in the story. I put this scene together, and now this is either the middle, the beginning. Something is going on here. And that is the story. Now I need to figure out what else I'm doing. But I like the fact that I have this and I can come back to it, and maybe I won't even use this part of it, but I know what my story is. And that's the writer's process, and you are working on this as you work on this challenge, or as I work on this challenge. Of course, we all know what a writer's prompt is. A writer's prompt is a tool we use to get us writing. And this challenge is one of my favorite writer prompts because it gets my juices flowing and it makes me get creative. I hope you all understand a little bit more about the creative process and you see how I'm handling this challenge. All right. With that, this is your Apple Bite, Rafael Tavares, signing off. Well, all right, Apple Bites, that's our show for this week. And you know what you need to do. You need to give me thumbs up because you like this episode. It was challenging. Hey, and if you haven't done so already, why don't you take a bite out of the apple and become Apple Bites? Yes, press that subscribe button down there. And while you're down there, why don't you leave some comments and let us know how we're doing. Let us know what you want to see. Share your story, why don't you? Because it's what you need to do as we take this writer's journey together. Right. Get it? Right. Well, you understand what I'm saying. Till next time, this is your Apple Bite, Rafael Tavares, signing off. Till next week when I say, write what you write in the right of writing. I know it doesn't make any sense, but I'm just like that.